Hello, guys, and welcome to a fan Q&A for Like, Follow, Like, Daughter, and Haunting. We have our campaigns live right now, and we actually have people that backed our campaign in the backstage area to access questions about our comic and to thank them for supporting. So before we get into that, we should introduce ourselves for maybe people that don't know us and our campaign. So Phil, why don't you talk about your campaign? I'll screen share as we get to see that. So let me screen share for you. They actually changed StreamYard a little bit because you
I
have
hope we
to
can
click on
adjust
things.
quickly. Hey guys, I'm Phil Falco. I'm the creator of Haunting that Kat will eventually share with you.
Eventually.
Eventually. It's our supernatural horror comic about a teenage boy who raises the dead wherever he goes and doesn't want to deal with it, so he doesn't. This is our 5th issue. It's the start of our 2nd arc after we collected our completed 1st arc in a trade a couple of months ago. You can see all the covers toggling by there, including our Gravity Falls cover. And this is a really great jumping on point. It's the start of a new arc where a ghost hunter, a femme fatale ghost hunter, has made it her mission to end our favorite teenage necromancer's reign of terror permanently. So there's a lot of action. There's some comedy. There's really great art brought from Mauricio Mora of Damsel from Distress fame, if you are a frequent Kickstarter backer. You could scroll down a little bit, Kat. We can take a look at some of that lovely interior art. Excuse me. Yeah, so we got a lot of action, a lot of fighting between our sisters, our twin sisters here, because Kat and I love putting twins in our comics so much.
We do.
Kat's a twin.
I am a twin. That's probably why I like it so much. I don't know why Phil likes it so much, but
well, usually they don't start as twins, and then you're like, oh, they should be twins. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's fun. So
that's true. I wonder if Faith and Hope were twins before I mentioned it.
I think they might be the only ones where I was like, yeah, they're twins. And then everyone else, you were like, oh, they got to be twins. They can't be neighbors.
No, I agree.
But yeah, this is our Haunting preview. All the things that we usually have on comic campaigns are here. We got some awesome variant covers, mystery boxes, stickers, trading cards, something for everybody. Definitely recommend checking it out. A lot of cool stuff.
Yes. And thank you for the 8 people watching. I also have to share it at some point. This share the
I can
Facebook
share
and
the
all that.
like daughter page while you do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. And then I could do the others.
Out StreamYard.
Okay, so you go to present, and then it's screen share.
Share screen. Like father. Okay. Do we see it?
Yes, we do see it.
So, Kat, what are we looking at here?
So this is Like, Follow, Like, Daughter. It's about a high school girl. Father left her to become a full-time superhero. Everyone in the world loves him except for her. And then she inherits his abilities. So if you want to find out more, definitely go check it out. We have some awesome variant covers. So this is actually the grand finale of the book. So there's a lot of twists and turns here. We're really excited about it. And yeah, hopefully you guys can go check it out. Now I also have a video that I do want. Well, actually we do have someone in the background. Can you hear me on the mic or no? Not yet, because we are going to bring you out right now. So Toon Writer is a backer, and we are going to introduce them. So let's get them on the stream. So I believe they are on. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for supporting us. And if you have any questions, let us know. And we'll love to answer them.
Well, as a matter of fact, I do, because I never seen or heard of this comic before, and I was wondering what kind of animation would it be like, after considering how there are different styles and different covers.
Yeah, so we are the writers for this book, but with this one, what we really like to do is just get different styles on it. So we get different artists that we see fit for those styles. So Phil, you have a lot of varying covers for this one. Why don't you go into how you picked your different cover artists and maybe how you picked your how you also picked your interior artists?
Oh yeah, for sure. So great question. With each campaign, we try to showcase some variety. So, we always have our We switched up the interior artists for both of these series actually from the last issue, to some amazing results between both. And then with the covers, we try to just go for a variety. So, with your cover A, you kind of want a taste of what the series is like. So, Haunting here, for example, is about a big confrontation. So our first cover really evokes that. And then you want some variety. You want some cartoony covers. So for Haunting, we have a cool Gravity Falls homage. I'm a big fan of Gravity Falls, and I always wanted to homage it with Haunting. And I'll go parallel between the two series. For Like Father Like Daughter, we have a cool Crisis on Infinite Earths homage from the very talented Comiker Girl. And so much fun detail for fans of the series. You could see characters from the series like in the backgrounds, like if you zoom in. So really cool. We both wanted to do a cartoony cover for our cover B. And then both of us have a mystery cover, which is something we introduced with another campaign, Slice of Life, and it was very successful. So we wanted to try to continue that excitement, where we'll never show the art for this publicly. The only way to see it is by getting the cover on the campaign. So, for mine, we have Evie Cantata and Charlie Kirchhoff behind the cover, the artist on The Dancer, one of Kat's other series. And then for Kat's cover, you want to talk a little bit about what they can expect from the mystery cover?
Yeah, so this is by Sorrow, and we've worked with him in the past. This is actually the first cover he's ever made, and because this book has been in the works for a long time, we really liked his work, so we made him work on other books that came out previously, but also after this cover. So yeah, this is going to be featuring Jim and Jessica, who are Casey's parents from the comic. But yeah, that's how we kind of figured out our different styles. Do you have another question? I think we have a little bit of time for one more, if you have one more, and then we.
As a matter of fact,
yeah, go for it.
I think I do have another question. Will there be references to well-known superhero franchises like DC or My Hero Academia or something like that?
That's, I would say, more geared towards my Kickstarter. I would say there's references. We always love our superhero references, but because of copyright and all that, they won't be able to appear. But if we want to make a Spider-Man joke or a DC joke, you'll definitely see that here.
Yeah, that's so much a part of
Right.
Like Father Like Daughter's DNA. A lot of the stories inspired by the comics you grew up on from Marvel and DC. So I think definitely fans will see some familiar beats and a lot of that inspiration in there. Great question.
Thank you. I thank you again for joining us. If we're going to try getting other people in here as well. So we really appreciate the support and for you guys to access a question as well. And if you want to continue the stream, you could watch on YouTube.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for having me. No problem.
Awesome. All right. Well, that was one of our Q&A people. So if you guys want to join us, I've been sharing the link. That way you guys can join us and access questions live. If you rather just access questions through the live chat on YouTube, you could do that as well. Also want to thank Cosmic Toby for the $10 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. We also have Kenneth Beard, who says hello. And then T asks if they could join. Of course you could join. So just follow that link. Hopefully it allows everyone easily to come on. So let us know if you have any issues with that link. But Phil, you had an okay time. I gave you the same link, right?
I had a more than okay time. I had a great time.
You had a great time on the link. Let's show Wayne's video. I thought this was really cool. So Wayne was actually artist on Like Father Like Daughter 1 through 7. We always joke, and not even joke, this is the truth. I'm the Stan Lee of Like Father Like Daughter, and he was the Jack Kirby. And always say, Stan, Jack, what's next on the agenda? So he actually has a Kickstarter going on right now. T's not camera ready. You could come on without the camera. It's okay. You could audio's
okay.
also welcome. So if you want to do that, go ahead. But yeah, so I wanted to show a video. I want to try downloading it because I think that will, I think you can actually upload videos straight onto StreamYard. So I'm going to try doing that. And as you guys join in, let us know and we'll get you in and you guys can ask your questions. Okay. So let's present video file. Yeah, this should work. So I'm going to present it and yeah, here we go.
Cheers, Kat. Congratulations. I wish I could be there in person during this time for the live stream. Fortunately, with my work schedule, my night job, I am not able to get that night off. Gosh, I really wish I could be there. It was such a fun ride being on this comic book and drawing it with Kat, and the discussions we had, the arguments over this facial expression, or
We
this
had some
angle,
good arguments.
or this viewpoint, and it was awesome because we weren't just arguing or fighting. We were just trying to make the best product we could make together, and we did. This comic book meant a lot to me in my career, still does in my heart. Working with you, Kat, has been the highlight of my short career. Miss you. I'd love to just hang out and have a cup of coffee and talk with you or something, you know? But we're both busy. We have different schedules. I have my family, you have your friends and family, and you have your work to do. I'm so proud of the work you've done. I can't thank anybody enough for the privilege that I had in my life to work with you. It was great. Congratulations. I can't wait to see this final issue, see how you finished it. Although I kind of have an idea already, working with you for so long. But to you, been a joyride, girl. Thanks for the ride. We'll have to do it again sometime. Ciao.
I love that.
Oh,
I
so
think-
nice.
Right? That was so nice.
He makes you sound so nice.
Right? He doesn't know me at all. I'm trying to, like, I keep downloading Wayne's photos onto my computer where I'm just trying to take off the video. But now I just have many photos of Wayne. But thank you, Wayne, for doing that. I didn't even ask. Like, he's like, I'm going to make a video. I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yes, I would love that. And it was so kind. And it was such a pleasure working with him, and my career would be very different without him. This was the first book I ever made. I don't think I'd be making comics without him. So very appreciative and really cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions in the comments, let us know. You could join live, or you could just go through the live chat and answer that way. But Phil, why don't you go take a deep dive about you also have a new artist. You worked with a previous artist. Why don't you talk about the experience of working with Anna for 4 issues before you worked with Mao?
Absolutely, yeah. So like we mentioned earlier, Kat and I both brought on new artists for these new big monumental issues. And before this, I had the pleasure of working with Anna Wyshek. She did the art on issues 1 through 4 and was incredibly talented, so instrumental in designing the look of the series and the characters, and couldn't be more thankful to have had the chance to work with her. And she's super talented, and she's onto some really great projects. She's had books for Image. She has had books for Dark Horse. So she's definitely such a powerhouse, and I'm really thankful for the time I got to have with her. And now for this issue, we have Mal Mora, who, as I mentioned earlier, he's known for his work on Damsel from Distress, and I worked with him a couple of times before this as like the primer, we'll say, for bringing him on. I'm gonna take the screen one more time to
Go for it.
quickly.
Oh, and I see a nice face. T, you're gonna be on very soon. You're in backstage right now, so T's gonna come on.
I'll talk quick for you, T. Don't you worry. So yeah, I worked with Mal. I had him do the hardcover version of the trade paperback of the graphic novel, collecting the first 4 issues of Haunting, and I just loved his take on the characters. Even before that, he had worked on an art print for Haunting, which a little blurry in this photo, but it's definitely one of my favorite art prints I've had the pleasure of getting for our comic properties. And once he had a home run twice in a row, so I had to ask him if he wanted to join the series, and it's been an absolute pleasure. We actually just wrapped on the art for issue 6, the line art, literally like this week. So really excited to continue this story with him past this current issue. I'm gonna stop sharing.
And we got T. Well, T didn't know that she was joining right this second, but I see you on the run.
I'm at McDonald's.
Oh, our favorite place.
What did you get?
I'm getting my sister dinner, and I'm gonna get myself a surprise
Oh,
because it's late and I'm lazy.
I like that usually. I'm so excited that you're here. I like that usually this conversation is T asking us what we have for dinner, but now we actually get to experience T's dinner.
She planned.
Oh yeah, what'd you guys have?
I had sadly I had chickpeas, sadly. It was a disappointing dinner, but you know, I had it. I ate it. We're both sick, so we haven't mentioned that yet. I'm sick, and I got Phil sick, and I'm pretty sure I got Julius sick.
Julius has a stronger immune system than both of us. Julius is my partner. I had chicken soup for dinner for obvious reasons. And
Can
I
you
was
guys
happy.
mute me for a minute?
Yes.
Can you do that?
Yeah. I could do everything. I'm
Wow.
I'm a StreamYard wizard. Okay, so we have and T will let us know. Give us the thumbs up. Oh, I like this. I like that we get to see T's
I like that she's taking us on the road. You know, usually
Yeah.
we're stuck. And now we can go on trips to McDonald's.
Yeah, now we could go McDonald's. Give us Oh, okay. She's back. So,
All right, so you guys, you know me. I'm a busy gal. I'm on the road, but you know I love. To
You're
support
literally
you.
on
You're
the road.
best. I'm literally on the road. So like I try really hard to look at both of your things and your newsletter, and I did have a chance to go through the newsletter this week, or was it last week? Whatever.
Last week.
And I saw something about a new collaboration, something with wolves. What was that about?
This is a really cool project. Thank you for asking about it. I think you're gonna like it. I think this will be up your alley, but it's a queer comic that brings different public domains together. I'm gonna mute you for a second, T, just because I'm here in McDonald's. Yeah, it's a queer comic that has. Oh, and we also have Phil, who's gonna be showing it. I was like, oh, do we have another person? Is Phil in our screen
Feel
sharing?
on the screen.
But yeah, so this is Snow White. You might have heard about her before. And she's going to meet up with someone from Beauty and the Beast. And it's two public domains crashing together. And I got to get T's reaction because I don't think she knows this. It's not safe for work. It's our first not safe for work story.
Yeah, for sure. We were really excited. We wanted to do everything we love. We wanted to do a queer story. We wanted to do genre mashing, so we had to put that supernatural twist in there. We had the pleasure of working with Durilis on Hairology, and we knew we had to snatch her up to work on another project. And we're in the early phases now of this project of Beast and Snow, and you just even from the character design, you're like, whoa, this is going to be a big one. So we're really excited for this one to launch in this summer, and we got a lot of surprises for you. It's very different.
Wait, hold on. So it's like Snow White, Snow White. What do you mean she's Snow White?
Yeah, she's Snow White, so she's the public domain version of Snow White. It's not like the Disney version. So all these versions are the public domain versions of the characters. And we did our research. We read the stories.
So like skin as white as snow, hair.
Yep. Black hair.
But we can say one of the characters is Latino, which is really cool. Yeah,
we love it. We love to hear it. And then I'm assuming she's gonna meet up with the Beast.
We can't mention anything more, but what are you going to say?
All right.
I was going to say she's going to meet up with someone. She's going to meet up with a beauty. And she's going to fight a beast.
Snow White is my favorite princess.
I thought I knew that. So I'm happy to hear that we were able to represent your favorite princess.
Yeah, I love her. She gets a lot of slag, you know. She's like, everyone's like she's like boring, and I'm like, no, she's misunderstood.
She's old.
She's the first one. She's the first one. Everyone forgets that she is the very first animated movie, and everyone was like, "Whoa, you crazy? You can't put an hour and a half in a movie theater of animation." And he's like, "You know what? I may be anti-Semitic, but I'm gonna do it anyways." And that bastard did it. That bastard did it.
It's the Captain America princesses for sure. She did get blackballed. That was interesting. But yeah, so that's coming up. We're excited about that. Why?
All right.
Do you have any?
You guys?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hop back on later. I feel like I'm being too loud.
No, you're good. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Bye, T.
Bye.
I'm gonna hop back on later. Okay, keep talking.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye, T. Mwah. See you Sunday.
I'll be back. I'm gonna hop back on.
All right. See you soon, and then Sunday physically.
Right.
Bye. All right, that was wonderful. So that's our good friend T, who's just so wonderful and supportive. So T, to give the audience a little bit of history, is actually my friend from college. We met in college, I think the first week of college, and we hit it off. We talked about Roswell, we talked about television, and throughout the years, we we became even closer friends. And then we had a mutual friend who knew Phil from grammar school, and we all met, and that's how we all became friends.
Yeah, it all started. I met T at the same time as you, which is it feels like, I don't know if it feels a long time ago or not that long ago, but it's a little while now. It was back in,
I would say I think I met T a little bit beforehand, like on the first week, but you met me and
I met you
all of us
at the same
around
time.
the same time. So it was probably like a month or so
I was like,
after.
aren't you
So
Comic Uno?
and I'll be like, yeah, I'm Comic Uno.
I was like, hey guys.
Hey guys, this is Comic Uno. But yeah, that's kind of fun about like Phil's half joking, but that's kind of fun about our friendship too, is that Phil knew me from my reviews out of coincidence because I used to review Young Justice. So he was all really nervous. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna meet the Comic Uno." That was a part of the antidote.
No, you're gonna start adding. You're gonna revising our history.
Yeah.
When we were at C2E2 the other week, we had a Comic Uno fan stop at the table, and he was like, "I gotta take a picture with you." And I was really, really pleased when you both said, "Hey guys," instead of "cheese."
I was too. I was very pleased by it. It's my calling for sure. And Julia says, "I did not know T prior." Yeah, I think Julius met T at my house when we all hung out. I don't remember what year. Was it freshman year of college or was it like later? I think it was for my birthday, like a surprise party that I knew about.
I think I met you at Marymount at your school before.
You did, but Julius, I mean.
Maybe Julius came to the party first. That sounds like him.
That does it.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean me? Oh yeah, no, Julius did not know me prior. He didn't know Comic Uno. He just knew Kat.
Now he's very familiar with Comic Uno.
He's very familiar. There's a funny story about when we were beginning to be friends that we were like exchanging Christmas presents for the first time. And Julius is like, "What do I get Kat?" and he's like, "Do you think she'd like a teddy bear?" And it was this huge teddy bear. I just thought, wow, that was really nice that Julius got me something for Christmas. And then supposedly after the fact, he told Phil, "I don't think Kat's a teddy bear girl."
He prides himself on being a good gift giver, and he gave her the teddy bear, and she was polite. She was like, "Oh, thank you so much. That's so nice." And then like he got to know her a little better. This was his first time meeting her, and he's like, "I don't think Kat's a teddy bear."
And then years later, I remember, I don't know if Julius remembers this, but it was around the time Frozen came out, and Julius is a big fan of like lizards, and he'd always talk about the lizard from Frozen 2 before like the movie came out. So I was like, I'm gonna give him a stuffed animal lizard to kind of get back at him for giving me a bear, because I know he's not going to use this stuffed animal lizard, but I have to do it for Christmas. So I did that one year.
I bet we still have it somewhere. I bet it's on one of our bookshelves in the basement that nobody goes into.
I hope so. I hope it's still living on somewhere. Let's get back to comics. So,
that's why we're here.
And again, guys, if you have any comments in the comments below, we'll definitely answer them. Oh, we got Raphael from the Bidden Apple, who's on Facebook. So,
hey.
One of our favorite guys to run into at Comic-Con. Thankfully, you have not run into us recently, or else you would get a cold. But yeah, let's dive into each other's books. Let's ask the hard questions. What do you feel like you've learned now that you're on issue 5? Not just Kickstarter. Like, what do you think you've learned about the characters? Like, what do you think is different about this book compared to doing issue 1? I do want to take away from the business side, because that's all we usually talk about. Is like, this is what we learned about, capitalism. But what did you learn about your characters? What did you learn about the art?
I think one thing that it's a little different from later haunting compared to earlier haunting is that I try to jump around a little bit more. I think something we learned a lot from Slice of Life is how valuable a scene change is, and putting the characters in different settings, even just visually, even not necessarily to service the plot, is a big factor. And one of the things I like the most about this issue is that it looks a lot different from the previous issues. We go to a few different locales, and that trend continues in issue 6. It helps make each issue feel very distinct while still continuing the same narrative, still following those through lines with the characters, which is always the most important thing to both of us, is, consistent characters and, seeing how they grow and interact and change. So I think that's definitely my biggest thing. Kat, let me throw the softball back at you.
Oh, softball. I thought that was a hardball.
I'm gonna throw. It's a softball. What did you learn from issue 8, especially since you wrote it so long ago? And why don't you talk a little bit about what it feels like releasing it now after you wrote it 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a long time. I remember we were starting to kind of like read each other's stuff at this point, and that's a long time ago. This wasn't even like when we were like working together. We were reading each other's things and like saying, "Oh, this is the note I would give." But what I learned at that point was that it's okay to change from your original idea, because issue 8 definitely looks a lot different than what it originally did. And there's a scene in there, like one of the big moments happened, I think, between me and Phil just talking. Well, a lot of the scenes, like the 2 openers, which I could talk about because one of them shown, we get to see the secret origins of not just Invulnerable, but we get to see the secret origins of Jessica as well, the mom. So that's kind of how it opens, and it never opened that way. And then the big moment that has always been planned since issue 1 happens, and something else happens that changes the course of these characters a lot that was not planned originally. It honestly was written in when I wrote this draft of the issue, which was really cool. And you got to trust the process, because me and Phil are very much people who love final drafts. Like, we work really hard on the outline, or we work really hard on everything that comes before. That way, when you knock out a draft, it's like the final draft. But I think we've gotten better at free writing and being like, this doesn't have to be your final draft. This could be a first draft, and then we could rework something. And we've been seeing that a lot with our other book, our webtoon, Slice of Life, as well.
Yeah, I think it's great. We both kind of challenge each other in that regard. I remember with issue 8, you weren't sure. You were trying to nail that ending, and I threw out like, "Oh, you should do this crazy thing," and then you were like, "Okay, let's play this out." And then with the webtoon that you just talked about, Slice of Life, there was a chapter that was pretty much nailed out exactly the way it's been outlined since the very beginning. And you were like, "What if we do this insane thing? This hasn't even happened yet, except on Patreon." And I was like, I remember I was silent for like a minute. I was like, hold on, I need to process how this affects our outline for the next like 60 pages.
And it made it better, in my opinion. It was a big part of this character's journey, and we had to make sure that the next parts of her journey was still made sense with the big change, and it did, and it made it better, honestly, with what's going to come with the characters, I would say, because it definitely affects other people with what happened.
For sure. Yeah, I think definitely it's a great example, our vague example that hasn't happened yet, of just challenging yourself to stray from your original plan. And that's one of the great things about comics versus like a novel. You release them in installments, especially on webtoon. You're releasing a couple of pages at a time, so you can bend your plan. You can see what people respond to. You can see how you change as a writer over time. It's not something you get to see as much with long form, other long form entertainment. Even mainstream comics are, they're more stockpiled. We release like Fall Like Daughter, and then there's a long gap where Kat can be like, okay, let's change this now. So that's
for sure. Yeah, no, I agree. We also have a burning question from Julius. Where's my bear? I think it's in the attic. I know it's in this house. I feel like I've seen it around. I think it exists.
You gotta bring it out. You gotta give it back to Julius.
Oh yeah, I'll give it for a Christmas present. Yeah, I've been renting it this whole, how many years? It was 5 to 6 years. Probably longer. But yeah, that was a good question. We have the name changes that's in the comments. If you guys have any writing questions, let us know. Any Kickstarter questions. I want to ask a Kickstarter question, but I feel like we talk about Kickstarter so much. Like, I want to talk about writing because we don't get to talk about the process of writing. But all right, let's tease like what's coming up for us, like what different projects we have coming up. We do this in our newsletter. You guys should check out our newsletter. I can link it if you guys want, because we got some really cool stuff over there. We update that on a bi-weekly basis, so twice a month, which is bi-weekly is an interesting word because bi-weekly means sometimes it means twice a week and sometimes it means twice a month, but our version is twice a month, especially in comics. Bi-weekly actually does mean twice a month.
Instead of we had an argument about this when we started the newsletter. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Anyways, going into the books coming up, what are things we could tease? What are things that surprised us that's up? Or because I was actually on a podcast and someone asked like, are you gonna make like a spin-off of like Fall Like Daughter? Are you gonna do like more? And it's like, oh man, it's so hard to answer that because we have so many things like planned ahead of time. And we always see these books as our little babies. And we do so many other not that the other projects aren't our babies, but we're like, this is the new Bi Visibility, Huh?
Yeah. I was saying these are our first. These are the
Yeah,
ones that started all, so they have a special place in our hearts. And
they do.
I think I'm not sure how much you want to say about Like Father Like Daughter, so I won't speak for you. But
No, I'll let's find out.
we will find out. But Haunting, I think it has a very clear trajectory of where it's going until issue 8, and then we'll see what happens. So I'll leave it at that. That's a little ways off. But why don't you talk about Like Father Like Daughter and your plans for the future, if any?
There are plans. I will say the grand finale was mostly a marketing ploy. No, no, it was a marketing thing where this is the end of this arc. It's the end of Like Father Like Daughter. But we are going to continue seeing these characters in a new way. And I'm excited. I can't say much about it because it does spoil the issue, and I've been biting my tongue for years on how this ends. But it will upset people in a good way, I think. So I'm excited to see how people react to the end. I really wanted to like rattle the cage a little bit, and I think I did it. I think I rattled the cage a lot because I don't think superhero comics enough rattled the cage. And when they do, it's the most memorable series, no matter what you think of it. Like when they do something amazing and change something, those are the ones we remember. I mean, think about Superior Spider-Man. No matter if you love it or you hate it, people still talk about it because it rattled the cage for a long time. Same thing for Ben Reilly and killing off Supergirl for 20 years. Like all those things, like they meant something to comic history, and I really wanted to do that with this book. Not that I think this is going to mean something for the overall comic history, but it'll mean something to Like Father Like Daughter. We got some questions here. Julie says Lucy and Raven's parents' dad in high school spit on. I wonder what that looks like. He definitely has favorites.
I think it's pretty boring. I'm sure he was pretty hot when he was younger, so maybe it wasn't that boring. But I don't know what. I wonder what his high school genre is. His high school drama is. I like to think that he's always been the kind of person who picks favorites. So the whole series is him just like going through life, and he's like, "You're my favorite friend. You're my favorite parent. You're my favorite pet."
I hope so. And he definitely has like 2 lizards, and he picks one, and he's like, "You're my favorite." And they're always
his favorite's always named Raven.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's like, I don't know why, but they're all spelled differently. That's why Raven's spelled with a Y for this one.
Ravenin, Rayv.
A silent K.
Oh, in the city.
Wow, that's interesting. I can't picture him being a city boy.
Simon in Chicago.
We're really making some waves here. It's interesting. I was again, we were both sick, so usually would like call each other and have long conversations every day. But we were mostly like, nah, we'll text each other today. And it was interesting. We were texting each other. This normally would be a phone call where we were talking about a chapter that is going to come out for issue 4 of Slice of Life. And I'm not going to say what happens to the chapter, but one of the comments that came out of it was us saying, man, all Brett wants is to get people together with people. Like that's his mission in life, is that he really wants people to be together.
Yeah, he's the ultimate wingman. It's we were getting new pages from him, just like he's so funny in every panel.
He's so fun.
We have fun with Slice of Life. It's our
It is. It definitely is. It is. We do have a question from Raphael. To both of you, what's your writing process? Do you guys just sit down and do it, or do you have to be in the mood or motivated, or is it just something that happens?
Yes.
That's a funny, all of it, right? Yeah, that's a funny question. But you go, Phil. I wanted to mention the plane situation. I think is very interesting.
We will talk about the plane effect. I think all of the above truly is the answer. Sometimes we schedule it. We'll sit down and be like, this is our time to write. And then sometimes we need to let it happen. Sometimes it's like not as something as easy to nail, and you need to kind of be in the mood. The plane situation that Kat's referring to is that we were falling behind on Slice of Life, which is our most frequently released book. And our artist Val, who we love, is so fast that she outdraws us in our writing. So
which is crazy because hers takes a longer time than what we have to do.
And we were going to Chicago. We're like, we have no time to write. We're away the whole weekend. We're working all week. Kat was like, the plane ride. I was like, no. Kat has this propensity to get as much work done as possible on plane rides, and I'm the opposite. I can't do anything on plane rides. My brain turns off the second I go into the sky. And she made me promise. She's like, we're going to try to at least like plot out the next issue of Slice of Life just to get our outline so we know what we need to write. And for the first time ever, I was able to do something on a plane ride, and it was a a really fun time, and then we almost crashed.
We
There was a lot of
just kept closing the windows. There was thunder. I was like, oh God, are we gonna survive? Is anyone gonna read Slice of Life? But yeah, no, it was interesting because
Sorry,
go on.
that was something we said. We were like, did we just waste all that time plotting Slice of Life and we're gonna die before anyone can see it?
That was literally something that was quoted from our mouths. But yeah, no, I think it's interesting because, like, for me on a plane, the reason why I love writing, and I've written so much stuff on a plane because I travel enough, that I just feel like it's the one time where you're not distracted. You don't have the internet. You might not even have music. You have nothing to do but your thoughts. So for me, it's easy. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna write it out. We have a script that is not announced, but is a work for hire. And I did the whole entire script in the plane. And because there was no grammar spell check, I was like, yeah, I saw that you did that on the plane because you have so many misspellings.
Yeah, it was. There were some really creative ones in there. I was like, I have no idea what this line says.
But I knew, and it was good. But yeah, so answering your question, it has to be a mix. I think if you do this if you are writing as many projects as we're writing, you can't always be in the mood to write. You have to just do it. And we schedule it. We have a master to-do list now where all these things are on our master to-do list.
The hardest part is definitely starting something new because obviously you have to figure out the whole identity of the series and the characters and the tone and all of that. I think one of the reasons we always talk about writing Slice of Life is A, because it comes out so frequently, but B is also because it's a lot easier. Like, we know the series and characters so well that it's easy for us to write it separately or like plot it out on a plane when my brain is scrambled in the sky. I think if we're starting something new, it's typically a lot more meetings to kind of like get things on page before it actually formulates into something coherent.
For sure. That was a great question. And keep going, guys, with the questions. Again, you could join the cast or you could just ask them in the live chat. We have the StreamYard link somewhere in the chat. But we do have a question from Let's Talk with Andrew Love. When will the next crossover come? What's interesting about the crossover when we did it, that was our first.
I'm going to
say again. Yeah, show it. So the crossover is between Haunting and Like Fallout Daughter. And when we did it, the reason why we did it was we wanted to bring both of our audiences together, and we obviously wanted to write together. At that point, again, we were pretty much we were reading each other's stuff, giving each other notes. We were pretty much each other's editors, but we hadn't written anything together. And we wrote the crossover, and it was just one of the easiest things we have ever written in our lives. And it just was so seamless. And we're like, damn, I want to do this again. And we both wanted to do a webtoon, and that's how Slice of Life came to life. And then all the rest is history, and that's why we wrote a lot. So next crossover, I think it always has to do with does it fit in the overall scheme of what we're doing? And I would say right now it doesn't. Our audiences are already pretty melded with the Haunting and Like Fallout Daughter, and from a story perspective, this is such a good beginning, middle, and end. And it's a really easy book to sell in that regard too, because it's such a good beginning, middle, and end. It's just a book we can sell forever.
Yep, it's definitely one of our best sellers. That was the original idea behind the crossovers, that, we're going to be sharing a lot of spaces at conventions. Wouldn't it be cool if we had one book in the middle that was like, Like Fallout Daughter is 8 issues, Haunting is 4 issues, I think, at that point, or 3 issues at that point. If you want to just taste both of them, try this. And then if you like it, you can come back and check out like individual stories. And it's definitely still one of our favorite things that we've ever created. It's so much fun. It started as a joke, which all of the best things do, I think. And, whenever we refer back to it, we always look at it fondly. It's always a great seller on subsequent campaigns because it's so fun and unique. Superheroes and the supernatural, like, it's been done, but it hasn't been done often. And I think we do it in a really fun, unique way. Like Kat said, we have a very full project load. So never say never. I think it would be really cool to put these characters together again and see the later versions of them once they've learned and grown and gone through a lot of stuff. How do they interact again? But we'll see if that ever happens. We have a lot of other exciting stuff on the horizon too, including for these series separate from one another.
Yeah. So we have a lot of stuff we're working on together, of course. So I actually wanted to see how many books we sold on Like Fallout Daughter, at least for the crossover. We sold, let's see, physical. We sold 27. No, that's just a tier. 44 digital and 32 physical. That's crazy. And this book is like how old already? And that's just Like Fallout Daughter. So Haunting will include that.
We sold 34 digital and 20 physical on Haunting.
So we sold like over 50
over
crossover
50
books.
physical and I think like 70 digital. So like it always moves. I think that art by Rafi DeSosa really helps to grab it. Rafi is so talented. We really lucked out nabbing her for the book for both the cover and the interiors. She's got a busy schedule, but she made time for us, and it was really great.
I agree. So going back to our little chart of things that are coming up. So we do have a secret project coming up that we're going to announce in our next newsletter. That the tease, it's funny because we were trying to think of what's our next big thing, right? We did By Visibility, we did Slice of Life, and we're going to the movies. And I think I was like either walking with you or I was on the phone with you to our weekly movie meeting. And I was like, I really want to do an anthology that's queer. Like I want to do an anthology that's like a romance anthology. Maybe we could do like all like girl love or whatever. And then he's like, all right. And then you're like, I really want to do boy love though. We haven't touched it. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. Or we'll go back to this. And then you came up with the idea to say, hey, how about if we did it for a different subject, which we're going to tease in the newsletter. And I was like, yeah, no, that's really, really good. I love that.
I think this might be one of our best ideas yet. And, I definitely don't want to spoil it. It's going to be announced in our newsletter next week, maybe the week after.
Yeah,
it's going to be
the week after.
It's going to be announced soon, but it is a anthology and it's a different kind than any we've done before. With our past anthologies, we opened up submissions and we curated the book based on people who applied with their stories. Here, we took a little different route. And of course, we'll return to our previous format. We love taking submissions and giving all different types of writers and artists a chance to get into anthologies, but we're really excited for this one. It's very different but also like very much in the audience that we usually go for. So I won't say any more about that.
I think it really could be one of our biggest campaigns. And Raphael actually kind of acts in the vein. Is there someone or some world that you guys would like to cross over with? I will say that to tease this a little bit, this idea came from a previous idea that me and Phil were kind of knocking around, which I don't know if we'll ever do, but we were like, oh, wouldn't it be really cool to cross over with another book, like a book that isn't ours? And we were like, talking about that. And I think this is a culmination of that.
For sure. I still think it would be really cool to do like a full-on crossover Haunting Like Father Like Daughter crossover style team up with another property someday. But this is very much in that vein where it's a culmination of different series. Not all. I'll stop there. I think
you got some teases.
You got some teases, but I think that's a great question. I would definitely love to do a crossover. I think our crossover, as we said, kickstarted our business relationship. We're already friends, and it would. I don't think any of our properties would be the same if we hadn't done it. It's such an easy sell, because it's so unique. So it's an idea I'd love to revisit maybe in 2024. You never know.
We do have Julius who says, so how do you know Gail Simone? That's a really cool question. I've known Gail for a good amount of years now, just through like the reviewing stuff. And then I think I went to a convention or maybe it was just through Twitter. I kind of realized that Gail knew me and like knew my reviews and always, spoke fondly of my YouTube channel and all that. And then I met her in person. She really thanked me and she's like, oh, I love your reviews. I'm like, I love everything you do and, everything you've done for Barbara Gordon in particular. So, we built a relationship with that. And then with Hairology, I was like, hey, you want to check out like Hairology? I know that you have a connection to hair. Yeah. And not even thinking that Gail would want to do a forward. And then she messages like, I'll do a forward for you guys. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So that's kind of how that came
and I was just like, we're so stupid. Why didn't we reach out to her before the Kickstarter was live? And then we panicked. We were like, oh, I remember I was at a play and you called me. I was in the car about to go into the theater and you were like, Gail Simone wants to do a forward. I was like, oh my God, handle this. I need to go into a theater.
Yeah, no, I remember that too. And I remember calling you and being like, I wouldn't call you unless it was important because I know you're going like with your mom to go see a show like for a gift too. So it wasn't like you're just seeing a random show. It's like, this is like her Christmas gift. So I was like, we actually do have another person in the backstage that we'll get in a second. But yeah, so that was really, really cool as well. So thanks for asking that, Julia. So yeah, so let's get Cosmic Toby's in the background here. How's it going?
Hey, Toby.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I think you might need to turn your mic on.
Yeah, your mic is off. Oh, I
yes,
think I
I
hear
had
you
it
now.
muted
There you
because yeah, just figured it'd be nice to have a face for you guys to go with since now that I chat a lot with you guys, all you.
Yeah, thank you again. Obviously, for all the support you've given the YouTube channel and just the everything. We really appreciate
Oh
it.
Got an
no,
awesome
well,
setup behind
thank
you.
you. No, yeah, I'm also watching on TV and I had to mute it. So good.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks for the support. If you have any questions about like the comics or whatever you'd like
Oh
to
yeah,
ask.
yeah. I'm just trying to get some of the books, but I'm gonna have to go to I found some on eBay. I don't know how much you sell them for, but I
That's
seen
crazy.
some
You
there.
found them on eBay. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Those aren't
and,
ours, but it's nice that they're there.
We
yeah,
keep
there's
talking about getting eBay.
like father, like daughter, 1 through 4. I
That's
seen
crazy.
those.
That's on there. That's amazing. It's there.
And then I
We've been
seen
trying to get on the eBay game.
That's probably rare.
yeah, and then I have my whole stuff here. I know how you do cons. And then I'll probably set up on the con one day if I get to it.
Yeah,
Those
you
are
should.
cool. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got everything. Everything's available. I just surround myself with that's what I'm gonna.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like our friend T is also here, so I'll add her to the stream.
No, yeah, I'm watching you on TV. It's just I get better volume there.
Thank you, man.
I watch
Yeah.
all my TV on TV too. Cat's on my TV sometimes.
No, yeah, I'm watching you on TV. It's just I get better
Oh, I
volume
hear
there.
you. Hello,
I
T.
hear
How was
some-
McDonald's?
I hear some
here.
background.
Yeah,
hear
that's
some
the
feedback.
background. It's too delayed.
Oh,
Where did they go?
is it-
Oh, Julius, of course you could join. Come on and join the show. That's the whole point.
am I the problem?
No,
Hi, T.
you're good.
I seen you in the chat.
Hi.
Yeah, thanks again. Thanks, Toby, for all. We actually have some questions here too.
No,
so
yeah, I go for Gustavo on Facebook and Instagram. Gustavo
Yeah.
Arteaga.
Catch me up, you guys.
That's my
I had a
real
call from the
name.
baby.
But
Yeah.
oh, so this is Toby. He watches the YouTube channel, and he's a
very helpful in our
supporter.
chats. Thank you, Toby.
And
Yeah,
always,
I just
great
wanted
chats.
I thought it'd be nice so you guys can have a reference, someone to remember me by, right? Because we're always
sure.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
really
guys,
cool, man.
you talked about you. I know when I feel like when I lifted, you were talking about one of your new projects, the one I mentioned. There's another one though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Go
Which
for
one's
it.
that one?
We just talked about it, but quick recap. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. It's queer. It's different than everything we've done, and also a little similar, and we're going to announce it in like 2 weeks. So we're looking forward to it. I don't know I think we told you a little bit more detail than that, T. So we're not spoiling for anyone else. You got a behind the scenes look.
Then I'm probably just forgetting.
Well, we'll tell you on Sunday.
Yeah.
I love it. I do see like Fall Like Daughter on eBay, which is crazy.
That's
Pat.
crazy.
Signed
Someone
by
did.
Kat Palamia.
Oh
I'm gonna
God.
go bid on it.
How much is it going for?
$50.
Go.
It's a
How
good
much?
price.
50.
What? That's crazy.
Is it at least signed?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fine.
supposedly signed. Well, don't go for that one because
Should
I
I
could
go
give you
on
guys
eBay?
one that's not $50 that I'm selling. I could sell you guys an issue. No, someone asked why aren't you on eBay, and I'm like, we're planning on being on eBay. We've been doing a lot of Etsy stuff. We have it on our to-do list.
We have a master to-do list we made this week, and eBay is on it, and it's just a matter of when we get to it, because every new platform is something new to figure out, and Kat and I only have so many brain cells. What was that, T?
Is eBay a big selling space?
For sure.
Well, Toby, do you get your comics on eBay? I know a lot of people do get comics on eBay.
I have a bunch of comics that I get from eBay.
So there you go.
Yeah, I collect Bronze and Silver Age, DC, and Marvel.
Yeah, no,
It's
I know
just pretty hard for me to get into Kickstarters because of credit and Visa, MasterCards. I don't want to use my dad's credit card.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, that's something that I've been trying to tell Kickstarter, which hopefully one day they'll also get on top of like PayPal and other resources would be really cool.
No, yeah, I always buy gift cards. That's how I'm able to do super chats, and I buy my gift. Yeah, that's absolutely.
Very cool.
I might just get
I
into
always
the-
get hesitant on eBay. I don't know. I always like, because aren't you buying it from someone? What if someone's lying to me?
And then I saw the Comic-Con for San Diego at Ticket StubHub. Did like 2,000 for all 4 weeks, all 4 days on just to go to Comic-Con in San Diego.
That's crazy.
Super expensive, and I'd rather just save. I'd rather not even waste that much. It's also conflicts with my work. If I go to a Comic-Con, I'm not going to work that day.
No, that's understandable for
That's a
sure.
debate that I have all the time.
Do you guys think they'll do New York Comic Con this year?
We're hoping that we could do New York Comic Con. That's we just applied today actually, so we'll see if we get in. Either way, I think I'll do New York Comic Con,
And
either
I'll go
press
for
or
sure, either way. So
yeah.
you'll see us there no matter what. And we just hope to be behind the table.
We actually do have a couple of questions about cons, so let's two people ask. Raphael says, "What are the next couple of cons you guys will be doing?" And then another person asks, let's see, 2 Scale Studios, do you all keep a schedule of the cons you plan for 2023? We do have a lot of cons on the list. We are doing Rhode Island Comic Con for sure. What are the other ones we're doing for sure?
We have a small one next month. We have FerryCon
Yes.
in New York somewhere. I forget where.
Wizard World, Philadelphia.
Yeah, we have Philly. We are hoping to do SuperCon in Florida. And we talked about New York already. We're aiming for Anime NYC. We might be doing a horror con, our first horror con in the summer. We'll see if the timing works out. So that'll be really cool. I hope it's scary.
Phil does love his horror.
Horror is my favorite thing in the world, maybe, after Julius.
If you guys go, will Julius dress up as Ghostface Killer?
He's got to dress up as a Jigsaw. That's his boy.
No.
Have you ever seen him as Jigsaw? It's cute.
No.
I have, and it's very, very, very fun. I love it.
I'll find a picture and send it to you later. But yeah, I feel like there's more cons on our list that I'm forgetting, but always looking for recommendations. So
will you guys be at Pride?
Yes,
we will.
We have a lot of prides that we're doing that I neglected to mention, including Washington D.C. Pride. We're going to do New York Pride. We have some prides in Jersey. We're going to do some smaller ones. We did Fort Lauderdale Pride a couple of months ago, and that was a lot of fun. We got to see our friend while we were there. Definitely want to do more prides every year, so try to have a variety of different events that we're attending.
Julius, come in. Of course you can.
Of course.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. You give me a chance to try out my new cell phone.
Very cool. I'm glad you have a new one.
Good
and again,
brand new.
Toby, before you go, is there any questions you want to ask?
Anything you want to share?
Well, not really. I already stick to the schedule and kind of just go like that.
Well, thank you again. Hopefully we could do this again soon. Well, I'm sure we'll do the Q&A type thing like this. So I hope you get to join.
Anytime.
And I'm sure on Tuesday we'll see you on Comic Book Weekly.
Oh yeah. Bye. Nice talking to you.
Bye. Nice talking to you. Bye. Oh, that was so nice. Thank you, Toby. Again, just being he's such a great supporter. Yeah, no, for sure. I did want to get through some questions too. So 2 Scale Studio asks, would love to meet you all at Dragon Con if you come to Atlanta. That's been on the list. We've really wanted to do Dragon Con for a really long time. But it's a 5-day convention or something. It's really long.
5 days. I think it bleeds into Monday, Tuesday. I don't think we're doing it this year, but I think next year it's kind of a must do. I think we're going to do Emerald City next year as well, which I think is early next year, like January, February. But definitely Dragon Con. We've heard nothing but good things about it. So it's a must do for us next year.
And I've never been to Atlanta. T, where do you want us to go? I hope you're going to be hitting up some of these Comic Cons with us.
Atlanta's the gay capital of America.
I thought that was Seattle.
Nope, it's Atlanta. According
That's crazy.
To the last
now we have to
census.
go. That's crazy. We should go there. That's
where
our crowd is.
I was like,
bring Julius in.
Hi.
Julius, come back.
You can join on your laptop too. I'll send you the link.
He's already here.
I don't want the echo.
Okay.
Go.
I kicked him out.
I always thought it would be New York.
What were you saying, T?
I always thought the gay capital of America would be New York, but I guess I was wrong.
I think because there's so many people. That's probably why. Like the census is like, the amount of people times the amount of gay people. But yeah, guys, if you have any more questions in the comments, let us know. Maybe we'll have one more guest on if you guys want to join. Julius will be the other guest. So
When
looking
is
forward to that.
Washington Con?
There's an awesome con at some point that we haven't done, but there is the Washington DC Pride that we're set to hopefully
That's
be
in
doing.
June or July?
That's June.
Okay.
That's June.
Ooh la
That's
la.
June. We had another question in here. Black Manic says, "Are you on any other platforms like Global Comics or Drive Through Comics?" I think that's going to be part of our 2023-2024 plan is getting on more platforms, something that we really saw on Etsy. Etsy's been doing great for us, and we don't even have to push it. It's just been so wonderful. Global Comics, I know they've been doing a lot of stuff. It'd be interesting to have a conversation with them to see if we fit there. Comixology, I know, it's a tough place right now, but, I think that's another place we'd like to get our books. We want to get on eBay now, especially if I'm seeing a signed copy of Like Father, Like Daughter for $50. I had a friend.
Crossover too on eBay.
Really? That's
What?
crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah, our books someone's selling them on eBay, so that's fun.
Here's Julius.
What?
Hold on, let me add him. Oh, actually, Tevia's here. I thought that was Julius. Tevia, we have another fan here. Tevia, how's it going?
Well, good.
How's it
I'm doing good.
going?
Thank you
I'm
for
doing good.
joining.
Yeah. We were just talking about eBay. I did not know my comics were on eBay, but we want to get on more platforms. We were saying Amazon's another place that we're really, really trying. But Tevia, do you have any questions? It's nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too. And it's good to meet you and you were Comic-Con in person. Okay.
Yeah, that was amazing. I know Phil's brother was actually there, Dan. So Phil didn't get to meet you in person, but Dan did.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I didn't meet you and your brother. Pretty cool.
Very glad. I hope I get to see you next time. I hope we're at New York again and get the chance.
Yeah. I actually too very fun. Yeah, I have a question. Since the final issue, Like Father, Like Daughter, and the final issue about the Ebony and Taylor Bell and not the entire story, I'm just wondering, if you had to do a crossover with any character, besides, my favorite team, I just wondered, if you had to do any character, what character would you like to crossover with, besides Spider-Girl or besides Super Saiyan, any character you want to see crossover?
What's your dream crossover, Kat?
My dream
Poison
crossover.
Ivy.
And he's taking away Spider-Girl from me. His Poison
Yeah.
Ivy. That would be a fun one. I think Invincible would be really fun because
That's a
a lot of
good
people
one.
compare
Yeah.
Invincible to Invulnerable. So I think that would be cool. Like picturing Mark
Yeah.
and Casey.
Well,
they have a lot to say.
They do, but the Omni-Man, let's say this. Oh, right. He's more bloodthirsty, more crazy at the beginning of the story. Not like Homelander the monster, but Omni-Man, but I think, in a way, Casey and Mark would have two in common. Their father, Casey's father is not a jerk. It's, like Omni-Man is.
There's degrees of bad dadding, and thankfully Invulnerable is not as bad as Omni-Man.
That's true, yeah. But,
We're
We're talking about that Amazon show?
Yeah, the Amazon show.
yeah,
It's based on
yeah,
the
yeah.
comic.
have to watch that.
And the Amazon show. Because both things they both coexist. Kind of. Well, even though God came out first, the Amazon show came out years later, so decades away at this point. But I do have a second question. Second question with the series. With the series at the ending with March, I'm just wondering, are you gonna have a second season of the series, or just the Rabbit Turbo? Because I sort of like the mother who a spy, shocking now, and that's the one coming. Will Katie be able to save herself from an evil mother? Would the father be able to save herself? Talking about that, but that's the final issue. But I'm just wondering, are you gonna continue the series after the season, or is it the end?
Yeah, their story is going to continue. So Tevye was asking, are we going to see more of Casey after Like Father, Like Daughter, the grand finale of this? Yes, but in a very different way. It's a grand finale for a reason. The series very much changes, and this is an origin story. It's very much issues 1 through 8 was how does Casey become a superhero? I mean, that's we could spoil that. I think that
her costume, her
Yeah.
costume.
Yeah, I kind of looked amazing in that promo image. It kind of combination of both John and Spider-Girl, but crammed to one.
For sure, definitely. I I feel like John's probably a little bit nicer than Casey, but
Yeah,
May is a little bit too nice.
Casey has
So I think
anger
Casey's in the middle. She does have
Yeah,
anger issues.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Tevye, for coming on. Do you have another question before you jump off?
Yeah, I have one more question.
Okay.
With the student, I just want to ask you, with the mothers being evil psychopath, I just want to ask you, are we going to see her story continue at the end of season 2, or with her story ending with the mother? Are we going to figure out, if she going to contribute to his life, or is it like, no, screw you, and you're just an experiment, I'm going to hunt you down to the end of the earth? Are we see her story continue, or is this the end of her story?
Yeah. So Tevye is asking, will we see more of Jessica, the villain of our story, Casey's mom? It is the end of her story for now, I will say. So this is the end of this arc for her. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense because if you keep the story
I
continuing,
get it, Kat.
it would not actually have a public illusion.
yeah, you'll have to read and see for that one, see what
Yeah.
happens next. But thank you again so much for the support, Tevye, and I'm sure we'll see you
Anytime.
on Comic Book Weekly on Tuesday.
Same here.
Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us. Bye.
Anytime. Bye.
Sorry, I dropped off for a second there.
I saw.
We missed you. Kat, you mean that bitch gonna die?
Well, I know, right? we would have to do the whole entire the live stream together. But yeah, let's start wrapping up. So T, do you have any last minute questions for us, or anyone in the audience have last minute questions?
I'm sure you've been asked this many times before, but I just want to know, when you're starting a new comic together, you guys, is it kind of like jazz? Is it kind of like zippity bop bop, zippity bop 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 bop, zippity bop?
It's exactly like
Sometimes.
that.
Sometimes it's a little bit like jazz, and other times it's a little bit like trash cans rolling down the street and hitting a car.
I remember when Kat and I were like, "Oh, let's do a Snow White book." We were like, "Zippity boop bop, snow," and she was like, "Oh yeah, Beast, Beauty," and then we just jazzed it up, and now we have a book. But yeah, every book's a little different how it starts. Sometimes we're like, "Oh, how do we make money? Like, what can we do to make money?" And sometimes we're like, "What's art? What's the best art we can make?" So, there's a good mix in there, and I think you should try to figure out every project what our mission statement was, what was like the impetus for it.
Yeah, no, that was a great question. That's definitely a big part of it too. It's been interesting to see, like, from a capitalism side of things, or not capitalism, money side of things. We have another question from Tevye too, but I think pins have been really interesting for us. We never thought that would sell as well as they have, and they become almost their own business, which is cool.
Pins.
Love our pins. We do have some more questions here, or at least a comment. Black Manic says, "I know this is a stream focused on current projects, but just want to say I really enjoyed the Dancer comic. Thank you very much."
Oh wait, I have a question.
I'll go for it.
You guys are talking about how Brett just wants to get people together.
That's all he wants.
Can you guys put a Hello Dolly joke into your comic?
If you tell us what the joke is, we can add it.
Hello Dolly is a musical, possibly one of the gayest musicals ever. Both gay and queer and happy. She's a matchmaker, so she constantly just hands out cards that says matchmaker.
Oh, really?
And her whole thing is about butting into people's lives and making them better by matchmaking people, because, she's a widow. I would just think that would be so funny.
I think Melody could be that girl to do that.
I think Brett and her team up to matchmake.
Because it was typically traditionally known as, like a woman's job that a woman could have if she wasn't, back in the past with a man. She would matchmake, but it would always be someone who would like to meddle into people's lives, which is Brett's kind of deal. Like, he's always like meddling, and I'm like, dude,
he
live
loves
your own life. You have a hot girlfriend.
He does not want to. He doesn't want to. He's like, I know I have Chris, but that's not my priority right now. It's everyone else. I need
everybody to be in love. T, I'm after this stream ends, I'm gonna send you a page we got today. You're gonna love it.
We were gushing over it. And it is a story just for the Slice Life issue 4 and our patrons, and we're like, damn, it sucks that our webtoon readers won't get to read it, because so I will say, and we can say this, we had a little bit of a not an argument, but
A debate.
a debate, I would say, because it
Crash
was an
cans
argument. We
running
weren't.
into each other.
We clashed heads, and I said I want this character to be called Brit, and it's Brett's
He's
cousin.
Brett's cousin.
And he's like, we're not doing that. And I'm like, it's so
Of course,
fun.
Kat.
And we
And we
settled
got
it.
it.
We settled it with a poll on Patreon, and I unfortunately lost by a landslide. So now Britt.
I don't like those. I lose those. I don't like them.
I lose them too. I never get what I want, but it's okay because the fans.
I'm glad I got what I want.
That's true.
But she's the character we get to see in that short story, and it's really really fun. No rigged. It
If
was
we
all...
could rig it, it would be rigged in my favor, and it hasn't been.
He definitely controls the Patreon more, so if it was rigged, it definitely would be.
I would love to rig it. You know, you may.
We do have a question from Savia. There is one more question. Will the dancer and like father, like daughter, also do a crossover in the future? It's been discussed, but I think we always try to make books that make sense in our market. And I think crossing over to books that I own and are characters that already kind of, have the same fan base isn't the most business savvy thing to do. But from a story point of view, it'd be interesting. I also don't know what I would do in that regard. I think it could be fun, but I don't think there's a need for it right now.
He has an idea.
I'm ready.
I had a question that I keep meaning to ask you guys every single time, and I'm so glad that I thought of it, but I'm so sorry that it's like very at the end. Since Slice of Life is a world in which there's plenty of fake media, not fake media, illusionist media, in that there are things like The Other, would we ever see like them strolling at the mall, them at a comic, they pick up a comic, it's like father like daughter? What?
I think that'd be fun. That'd be
or
really
they're
cool.
at home, they're watching a scary movie. Oh my god, it's about a teenage boy who sees ghosts.
I think that's a lot of fun. I think we Kat loves to I think like Father Like Daughter has some references like that in there. I think like your local comic book store is in there. You can see them reading different books. So.
Danny still mentions it because my friend Danny, who used to work at JHU, who works at Valiant now.
I don't know why we're not doing this. It's free marketing for ourselves.
I know. We should do it next time.
What's the most friendly?
Or maybe another in the very, very far future when more characters comes to life. It's a whole other crossover. It's all comics.
Everybody.
If we were gonna do it on the webtoon, maybe, because then you're really doing it to a different audience.
Like the most epic crossover of all time. That's So Raven and Hannah Montana and The Sweet Life.
I want Raven in Slice of Life. Raven meets Raven.
Oh man, we get sued.
I think Raven. I'm not Raven. I think Lucy should read a copy of By Visibility and have some real gay panic.
Especially because she's in one of them. She's not in the first one.
That's true. She can only read the first
one. That's me. And that would be a big conundrum. We do have a Cosmic Toby X. Would you ever sell off your collection of comics? I think there's parts of my collection I would sell, like things I don't enjoy as much, and I read, and I'm like, I didn't like this, so I dropped it. But like books I actually care about, you never say never, but I don't see that happening.
When you got to pay off your gambling debt one day, you'll be like, "Oh man,
I mean, like, there
goodbye, Spider Girl."
never to Spider Girl. She'll be the one I'm buried with. What if issue 105? I'll be next to my coffin. And on that note, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you, T, for joining us. Thank you for everyone that joined the cast. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Phil, for coming on, because I know you're sicker than me right now. So,
I'm dying.
So thank you guys. And T, I'll see you on Sunday. And Phil, I'll talk to you very soon, I'm sure. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. This is Comic Uno.